Oh! I was filming.
Whoa! 2 o'clock, you guys are up.
We're late.
Yeah, don't be like us. The boat's supposed to leave in 3 minutes, and they're probably sitting there. There's a crowd of people being there, being like,
it's not my
where
fault.
are they? I remember last time we were here, we were super early, and we were waiting for people.
Sorry, I can't walk as fast as you either.
It's okay. So,
I blame you both.
So it's a really, really nice day. It looks like it's super calm, so it's not going to be really bumpy, which is fantastic.
I will, but I took.
So Mala boat pier, there really isn't. We parked at the Starbucks nearby, but yeah, lock your car.
You guys didn't tell, but the water's disturbed right there. That's where they had landed, and now they're going the same direction as us. So there was a double breach, which is super cool. Both of them were out of the water at the same time, then a single, and then one did a chin slap. So maybe we get lucky and they do something else, but we're gonna hang out for a couple moments and see what happens. Now on those breaches, typically I don't do what we just did because they'll breach a couple times and then they stop. We run over here and it's kind of a waste most of the time. I wanted to come this way anyway, so it kind of worked out. So we'll see what happens. I just don't want you guys to get in the habit of me running through those. I'm not going to do it. It ruins a whale watch. We just go really fast from breach to breach and you don't get to see it.
Here we go. So mom calf escort, that's what it was. They might have been trying to encourage the calf to breach.
So I'm going to catch up to them, but just you can stay standing. Just make sure you're holding on to the boat for me.
So that's what it was. Mom calf
I only have one.
escort. Well,
two.
we already saw that, but you know, maybe
Two
there's
cheeks
a
and one foot.
animal here. Maybe there's a challenging whale
Oh, there they
for the escort.
Oh, yeah. Cool. So somebody just pulled up half a tail.
Oh.
We might have a third adult whale here.
Really good. Lay like he is on the tube right there. There you go.
Ooh.
Both of them are on the surface. Tail again.
Oh, pretty tail on that whale.
See, that one had more of a combination black and white mix. Molokai is looking really beautiful in the background right there. You guys make sure to take some photos of these islands while you're out here. If you come back in a year or even a couple months, it probably won't look like that because we haven't seen them this green in a very long time. We went a whole year and they were almost completely brown. But we got some good rain in December. Oh yeah, fish. Bunch of fish. Big school of fish right here at our 1 o'clock. We're just going to ease through them.
See all the bubbles coming out.
Now, Jen was telling you earlier that they don't eat when they're here in Hawaii, and they don't for the most part. But they are opportunistic, so if there's an opportunity, they're gonna do it.
Careful.
It's like if you're walking through the desert and it's a no eating zone, but you see a saltine, you're still gonna try it out. But there's not enough food here to support them at all.
Yeah, they have seen feeding behavior here, and like you said, opportunistic. But up in their feeding grounds, they feed on up to 2 tons of food a day. So pretty much that's all they do summer long is feed and feed and feed and feed. Because they are getting all those nutrients to make this journey down here. Now, up in Alaska, they feed on large amounts of small schooling fish, herring, krill, cod, capelin, mackerel, anchovy, salmon fry. So that's pretty much their diet. And they get their fresh water from the fish, and they get all their nutrients. So when they come down here, they have about a 12-inch to 18-inch blubber layer. And they go probably 5 months without eating, maybe longer. So this time of year is when we start to see these whales thin down. Well, we'll actually see the vertebrae column right on their peduncle area, the bones, because they've lost so much weight. So the male whales can lose about 20% of their body weight, where the females that have calves can lose up to 30% of their body weight. These off at 4 o'clock. I don't know if that's them.
Where?
Have you seen the bubble net feeding in Alaska?
I have,
It's so
yes.
awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool. So we're talking about bubble net feeding, and that's cooperative feeding. So when the whales feed, sometimes they do lunge feeding, so it's a solitary way of eating. And then they also come together and form these groups of about 6 to 8 whales, and they release these bubbles out of their nares or their blowholes, and they look like these cylinder columns going up, and they create this. It's like a circle. It's so beautiful, actually. I've seen these bubbles where the fish don't know which direction to go in. So they get trapped inside the bubbles, and then there's a female that will blow like a trumpet sound underwater, and that's an indication for all the whales to come up and take on several thousand gallons of seawater and fish, squeeze the water out through the ventral pleats with these baleen plates. The water gets pushed out, the fish get trapped inside, and then they just consistently do that all day long. So if you see bubble net feeding up in Alaska, they don't even look like humpback whales when they come to the surface. You don't even know what body part is showing because their mouths are opening up and they're going down into like a 90-degree angle.
And apparently that's relatively new, maybe too. Like it's a social behavior that they had to like learn how to do. It wasn't like in their DNA. That's what they told us on our cruise.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, because a lot of whales just do lunge feeding where they just open their mouth.
I tell you what, 10 o'clock, go ahead and stand back up. You guys are good.
Oh, wow.
Just make sure you're holding on.
You see the long arm, the peck fin right there. The whale's just rolling
Waving
around.
at us.
I think there might be a calf too. I thought I saw a little
Oh,
whale.
yeah.
It's another baby whale here.
And then two
that's a
jumping
double
way
breed.
out.
Way
We're so close to Lanai, Mom. You can see it really well.
Over here.
Yeah.
I can't really get pictures of it though.
Yeah, when we turn around.
Yeah, we gotta approach carefully too, because we don't want to change the behavior. The whales can hear us coming, for sure.
Yay.
That
There's a shop on Block Island called the Whale's Tail.
Whale's tail.
I think there's a calf here too. That's not, this is the time of year, you guys. We're in the nursery. You know, it's not as much the nightclub as it was like a month ago. So I like to say these waters are the nightclub, the bedroom, the nursery, and there's a 3,000-mile hallway to the kitchen.
Yeah. Nice.
So we're pretty much in the nursery grounds right now. A lot of these moms that got pregnant last year are down here. They've given birth, and then we have this 6 to 8 week time period where they have to stay in these waters. So March is definitely baby month.
Isaac? We're gonna pitch something to the Whale Society, protection, whatever they're called.
Uh-huh.
I can find their tails on
And the
Happy
mom
Whale
and
and draw
calves
them
don't
and sublimate
stay
them with the
together. They don't
patterns
hang out.
Oh.
So
into
it's not,
dual
even
tone.
though they're
Yeah.
in these waters hanging out to some degree, they're not actually like connecting and like having little play dates with their calves where they can all hang out together. The goal is to get the calf strong and healthy so they keep themselves separated from each other. And then that's also where that escort comes into play too. He just kind of keeps other whales away as well. So we'll see if there's an escort here. I think there might be.
It's the same. It's Molokai.
I'm pretty sure there's a calf. I believe I saw a smaller, like a little dorsal. Yeah, if you look around, there's lots of whales. It's pretty good for this time of year, you guys. Sometimes it thins out quite a bit. By the first week of April, it could be, hopefully it won't be, but it could be pretty tough for us to find animals that are, you know, without just a mom and a calf just resting all day.
They just get hungry and leave.
Well, yeah, and most of them have left already, so we're
Yeah.
getting towards like the end of the season. So peak season is February, and these whales will start to come down as early as October, November. We'll start to see our first few sightings of these animals. We'll see a mom and calf be maybe here as late as June. But the whole population that really makes the journey and that's here in these waters is going to be somewhere between mid-January and mid-March. Again, with February being the peak month. But we do have some animals that come down a little bit later. And last month, in the early March, it was kind of slow. We were kind of a little bit like, where'd the whales go? We had a few whale watches and a few days where it felt like there wasn't much out here. And then we got a surplus of some males. So there is, the researcher that I used to work with, he really believed that there were different male whales that came down. Some came early, and then another group came down a little bit later in the season. Do they come down in groups? It's likely they do. We've never been able to really track as far as whales together, like that migration. But like I know off California coast, you'll see all the whales migrating down. But as far as like coming to Hawaii, it's very likely that they do. Mom and calf, well, there's our calf, you guys. Mom and calf might go back to the feeding grounds on their own.
There's baby right there. Just a little closer. 10 if you guys want to stand up. You're good.
Oh yeah.
You're not a 10, Isaac, you're a 2.
Baby circling right there.
Better than being a 1.
So this is where we saw the breach. No, this is the peck slopper. These waters are so beautiful. All we need is a whale to come under the boat. I think now we'd get a good sighting. The sun's up a little bit higher.
Come on, do a jumper jumper. Do a jumper jumper jumper.
Hey, little baby.
I'm gonna have so much editing to do. It's okay, I like it.
A little tail on that calf. I know. We'd love to see a breach. Now, when we see breaching, primarily, especially this time of year, we see the calves breaching repetitively. And that for them is a form of muscle development, where it's, you know, encouraged by mom to continuously come out of the water. Because once they leave these waters and head out into open ocean, it's very likely that a calf might need to come out of the water with a semi-breach or a head slap just to get a breath of air. So even though you would never think that outside of these waters it's rough, but it actually is. There's a lot of low pressure systems that these whales need to migrate through in order to get back. The calf is a form of helping the breath holding ability as well as a potential to help them take a breath of air once they're out in open ocean. What's that?
Ew.
I know.
I only want a 10 to kiss me, not a 2. Okay.
So calm today.
Yeah, imagine, I would have gone if this was how calm it was. The diving site.
Oh yeah. This is perfect diving weather.
So what we're gonna do while we're waiting this little baby to come up, we're gonna throw the hydrophone in for you guys.
Ooh.
So it's an underwater microphone. Let's see if there's anybody down there singing. Now, baby and the mom, they wouldn't be singing. The escort, possibly, but not very likely. Most of the time, if it's a singer, it's gonna be a lone whale by himself, kind of doing his thing.
Happy to be single.
This microphone will pick up anybody singing for about 2 miles. And if you want to hear this yourself, it's actually pretty easy. If you were to jump down in the water, you would hear with your own ears pretty much the same thing that this microphone will pick up.
They said some people could hear it.
I could hear something weird, but I didn't.
Noisy it is down there.
Pretty noisy.
There you go.
Symphony.
Nobody's dancing because everybody's singing.
They're tuning up.
Wow.
Yes, it sounds like a tuning up in a symphony.
So what we'll do for you guys, since there's a bunch of loud singers, is we're going to be quiet. There's your baby. So video the baby, and you'll have live whale songs. So let's everybody be quiet for about 2 minutes.
You guys are from several animals. Okay, this is not just one whale, this is several. And they're all singing the same song in their own version, but it's the same song and it's made up of what we call units, phrases, and themes, and sung in a song session repetitively. Now this song that you're hearing is not the same as last year, and it's not the same as what they started when they came down to these waters. It's different. It's changed throughout the course of the season. And what's really fascinating is that not only has it changed here, this is the North Pacific stock, and they all sing the same song. So the whales that go to Mexico and Japan are singing the same exact song. So I mentioned that it changes throughout the course of the season, the breeding season, and what we found is that the same day it changes here, it's changing in Mexico as well. How fascinating is that? So that's why we believe these animals can hear thousands of miles possibly.
Amazing.
Play around some, baby. Jump for us.
How far down is the microphone?
It's maybe about
10, 15 feet.
maybe. Not far.
So if you get in the water, get your head about 2-3 feet under the water, you'd be able to hear the same thing. You need to clear the pressure off your ears.
Good news is
Kick around, buddy.
That's a lot of song still to hear. Sometimes when it gets to be later in the season, we don't hear it as much. So there's still a lot of male whales here. So it's only the male whales that sing. It's amazing. It's so loud. Some of the sounds are higher than our frequency that we can hear, and lower. And if you were in the water with a whale singing, it would reverberate throughout your body. Your whole body would shudder.
I've had it happen. I did a bunch of scuba diving, taking people out, dive master instructor type stuff, where we had to get out of the water because the singer was so loud. You had to. It was hurting your ears.
Wow.
And it's
Feel the vibrations
through
hitting
your
your
body.
chest.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's actually kind of eerie in a way.
It is.
And it's haunting a little.
There you go. Baby got a little peck fin out of the water. That's
Come on,
cool.
baby, do something fun.
Whales are
Bring
all
your
over
mama
people.
over here.
Right. He's trying.
So some moms are super cool. I don't think this mom has a escort with her. Some moms are really cool. Like they've been born here. They understand this is a safe environment. We are in a sanctuary for humpback whales. And then some moms just don't want anything to do with us at all. You know, which is fine. They get that prerogative. But we do get
they know
some
what not
moms that are very friendly and will come around. Because the cats get curious, you know, they're just born, they're like, ooh, what's going on? What's the boat? What's the people, you know? I was doing research, and we had a guy in the water the other day, and the mom wasn't really interested, but she finally settled down and went under, and the calf just really took so much interest in the diver. He was like, oh, little baby. I mean, just circling him and checking him out and rolling all around, and it was really cool to see.
Lucky diver. I want to do that.
Yeah.
And we also see bottlenose dolphins and spinner dolphins with the whales sometimes too. So, you know, they are a cetacean. So all whales and dolphins are cetaceans. These are the baleen whales, like we talked about. They have the baleen plates. It's about 13 species, but there's over 80 species of dolphins and porpoise, which have teeth. So how they feed is differently. So when we talk about like the orca whales or the dolphins, they have one blowhole and they feed on single prey, whereas the baleen whales, like we mentioned, are the grazers. They feed on the large amounts of small schooling fish.
He's so smart.
So they are cousins to some extent. So one uses a form of echolocation, the dolphins and the porpoise. Hi, baby.
Here, whaley, whaley, whaley.
The orcas feed on the baby whales?
Yes, they will. They do. That's why they're called killer whales. Not all orcas do. The transient ones and oceanic will feed on marine mammals, like, but some feed on like salmon. So like the resident pods. Well, up in Alaska, the residents, will they feed on sea lions or just the transients?
Transient.
Yeah, only the transients. So some are friendlier. Some are orcas and some are killer whales.
Oh, tail? No tail?
Come on, come on, come on.
Little tail on the
Oh.
baby. Now, the
Little bit.
tail on the baby doesn't really work with happy whale, and most of the time you won't get a tail ID photo even on the babies until they're a little bit older. Like that 7-8 week mark. That's one of the last things they learn to do is that tail up dive. But the tail set in till about, they say about 3 years of life. So right now, if you shot the baby's tail, it wouldn't be any benefit to you as far as happy whale.
Unless it had something really remarkable on it that was like, you would know that tail again. You could bite out of it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mama's in a sleep mode, so baby's pretty much just coming up, taking a few breaths of air, going back down. The way these whales sleep is not like we do. They can't hold their breath for 8 hours. They don't go into REM. They basically shut down one half of their brain at a time, while the other half is awake in what we call an alpha stage of rest, a semi-conscious stage of rest, to remember to breathe, because you know we forget these are mammals, believe it or not. They're air-breathing, warm-blooded mammals, but they happen to live in the ocean. So every breath they take is a thought-out process. So if they got knocked out, they would die. They would drown because they need to think to breathe. So
Conscious breathers.
Is that your phone beeping?
No.
Watch.
So I think we're going to take a little run. Fine for you guys. I've been scanning the whole time trying to find a home or something like that. Somebody splashing around good, but we'll see though. We still got some time.
That
We're cute.
giant island-sized whale over there.
yeah.
Oh.
Whale-sized island. No.
You see now how
different.
it looks like a wet...
curious whales. We're not sure. Oftentimes the whales kind of get bored down here. I mean, they're down here to learn about the facts of life. The ones that are not old enough to breed yet are in the breeding game. So we get some animals that just get curious and inquisitive, and they will come over towards the boat and spy hop and, you know, roll around, check out the engines, check us out. You know, they're looking for intelligent life. I think. Yet to found it in the humans. So, but it is pretty exciting when that happens. So we approached this thinking that maybe that was what was going on, but we don't know.
Now our opinion of what smart is
It was January 23rd.
Oh, you
What
looked it
day
up.
was that?
What day of the week?
Sunday or Saturday?
Sundays.
Must have
Maybe
been.
I wasn't.
Sunday.
Okay, yeah, it was me then.
I'm glad we have some cloud cover.
Come on, Whaley
Yeah.
Whale.
Whoa!
Baby.
2 o'clock. You guys are up.
Hi.
We can be up.
We can be out.
2 is up. 10 is
Are
down.
you a friendly?
That's
Are you a friendly? Come say
that's good to
hi.
remember that she does that.
What?
Say good morning.
She does only Saturday, Sunday.
So, I don't know if it's a single whale.
Oh, look.
Yeah, we might get
It's a
mugged.
smaller whale, though. That's not a full grown
Don't stand up too
humpback,
quickly,
you know?
Kelly, if you do, because you'll
That's
knock
a
my
small
phone out of my
whale.
hand.
That's a juvenile.
Oh, sorry.
whale
Or,
right
no,
there.
you
So
haven't
we're
yet,
all.
just
I'm just
so no.
pointing out that we're all taking
Probably one
videos
of
of the
those
same
whales
exact
that's
thing.
just
You
not
don't really don't
Well,
have
they
to.
still have to make
I
that
think
migration.
some of us are better than other people
Well,
at videos.
That's learned.
Yeah, you're supposed to take photos, I think. Hoping you would.
Here we go.
Get stuck in video mode.
Uh-huh.
Or no.
Like he heard you.
Do you know what companies these are?
Any vessel at slaughterhouse.
Inferior companies, clearly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
So Kainalu is the yellow, then the other one is.
Paragon, trilogy 3.
Oh, we got a couple whales.
Oh, wow.
We got.
Wow.
We could have a little
Oh, okay.
talk, maybe. We'll see. Just by the way that.
Don't worry, we'll always be with you guys.
Yeah, we did a lot of research and everyone said you're the best.
Yeah.
Whales here,
Clearly.
you know, if we have
Clearly.
Oh,
we
poof.
could have a little competition.
They're right next to that one.
Let's give them the most love and they'll come here.
It's actually good to have the juxtaposition of a boat. You can see the scale.
Yeah.
Go big breath. We might get a tail out of this whale going down fairly fast.
Yeah. Come on, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And you can really see their bumps and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, so the bumps that you guys are seeing on the rostrum of the humpbacks is called tubercles. And those are one of the most identifiable features on these animals are those bumps, those little knobs. They look like doorknobs. Each one of those has a couple of hair follicles. So that's where the hair is on the mammals. For the humpback whales at least. And then also their long pectoral flippers is another identifiable feature. So humpbacks are actually very unique in their autonomy. Because or anatomy, excuse me. I used the wrong words. I'm like, I don't think that sounded right, autonomy. Okay, because they have these long pec fins, you guys. Most like baleen whales, you've got a few that look similar. The fin whale, the minke whale, the sei whale, the Beard's whale, they all look similar. But the humpback whales are very unique with their long pectoral flippers. In fact, the longest appendage in the animal kingdom is on a humpback whale's pec fin, 15 feet. So these guys are circling around. I think there could be a little bit of competition just by that little subsurface blow. So we could have a female who's here and a couple of male whales that are, you know, posturing right now. It looks like that's the case. I see two though. I don't see a third animal yet. I only see two. But that's definitely a little bit of some aggressive behavior on one of the animals here on the left.
I'm gonna follow along with these guys. So let's do
Huh?
That has to be the luckiest boat on the water right now.
10 o'clock.
It's actually
You guys are
not
up.
supposed
2
to
is down.
Oh, wow.
So far I'm only seeing two whales.
Hey,
This will be one of the highlights, Mom, probably.
Yeah.
So definitely one is more agitated just by that, what we call a subsurface glow. So it looks like a little fountain coming off the surface of the water. So, and the female's gonna be the one that's more relaxed, her breath is all chill. So, but right now I don't see a third animal. But it doesn't mean there's not something lurking down below. Are fighting in the competition groups where you have several male whales competing for that opportunity to mate with the female. It gets pretty aggressive. Now they won't fight to the death, but they fight to what we call their tired, basically. So they'll have moments of activity and moments of rest, moments of activity, moments of rest. Now we've never documented breeding, so we really don't know who the female mates with, but starting to believe that it's very likely that the female is mating with multiple whales in order to ensure pregnancy. So we used to think that she picked the strongest male in the comp group, you know, because she obviously wants very strong genetic offspring. And that doesn't mean that's still not the case. She's mating with multiple animals. It could be the strongest one is the one she mates with last. We do know that with the southern right whale, that's the case. But you know, we've never ever captured it. We've captured, you know, these comp groups where these males are all like super excited and fighting and things like that, but we've never seen the female choose a male, swim off to the sunset with them and mate. We've never even seen her mating in competition groups. But most likely she is looking for the genetics of her calf to come from a stronger male.
Newly washed.
Just because of that migration, you know. And it's thought that possibly there's just a few small
I was filming.
I was probably the female. She might be getting a little.
There we go.
I wasn't filming that one.
Oh. Yeah, that's the one that's been coming up with that subsurface flow. Yeah, there's some kind of weirdness between these two.
Could they be playing?
It's possible. They're both not the behavior.
Her tubercles are clean. That one's tubercle clean, and the
So we've been seeing this whale. Oh my gosh, this is the white tail. Sorry, I think it was. She's got, this is the, she may not be interested because she might be looking for more options, you guys. I mean, honestly, she might be like, that's a different whale. No, that's like.
So what we were just now noticing is the tubercles are bumps on their head. On the males, it's really hard to tell males from females. The only way you can actually do is she can see the bumps on the head called the tubercles, and if they're beat up, typically it's a male because they've been running into each other and they wear these tubercles down. So if they're
People,
What?
how was the whale watching?
That was awesome.
That's it.
Really awesome!
Just awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, we were spoiled on the last
The
one.
awesomest.
Really good.
It was not the awesomest, but it was quite awesome.
This is my first one. It's the awesomest for me.
Go. They're awesome. This company is great. We love them.
We
Wanna
do.
go again.
We do.
Bye.
This is Olena. And I'm Isaac. We're moving to Hawaii!
But first,
We're driving from New York City to Seattle
with Smiley, our 9-year-old rescue pitty.
in our Tesla Model 3, equipped for camping.
And we are funding this trip with our Etsy store.
Meaning we are bringing around 50,000 earrings.
And 500 envelopes.
And our label printer.
On this 11-day cross-country road trip.
Subscribe to the Travel Bug Bite today! If you liked our video, don't forget to click the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Check out our videos from all around the world and let us know what you'd like to see next.
Thanks for watching!